And here we are with a very late review and history on this car. This is based on a 2000s Mustang Cobra R SVT, if I'm correct. And they only made 300 of these cars with the 5.4 liter V8, making, I think, around close to 400 horsepower in this thing. Of its time, it was the fastest produced Mustang ever. And that is a pretty cool accomplishment that they achieved back in the 2000s. But this right here, this is GTA's version, the Dominator ASP. This thing is based on the Cobra R, obviously, but mine, I have it looking like a Saleen Cobra R, or at least make it look like the Saleen Mustangs from that time period. Well, you may not like what I did to it, because right here you'll see that I have either mud flaps or whatever that's painted to match the wheel arches, but that's the reason, because if this car didn't have those mud flaps, in my opinion, it was a cheap way to make the wheel arches not feel so like gapped, you know, like a lot of room and just nothing there. But this is my take, or my version of a Saleen Mustang. Now, as you can see, this thing looks nice, looks tremendous. The vehicle, probably one of the better muscle cars of the past year of GTA, and this is amazing. Look at the customizations that this thing can have. Look at, you know, what I personally did to mine, which I think it looks pretty nice. Like, look at this. This is a amazing car. I mean, the sound's down, it's pretty good. I like the sound of it. Even if it is reused sounds, they did it right. It sounds like a muscle car, and it has the power to back it up. And the acceleration is nice on this thing. The speed is pretty good. Turning is like it's like a sports car, but in the muscles class. That's insane. In real life, is this really a muscle car or a sports car? It's probably leaning towards like a gray area, or it might just be a full-on muscle car with a big spoiler on it. But either way, this is a piece of machinery that should be appreciated, and by now, I mean, hey, I feel it is going to be a classic. Only 300 of these cars were made in red, and hopefully that stays like that. 300 still around, all in red, all looking good, good shape. This is another classic muscle car right now. I mean, this is a car that I used to play with on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, and I think that was made around 2002, if I'm correct, and PlayStation 2, you know. I mean, those were the old Need for Speed games. That was the cool game for its time, and I think that was my very first Need for Speed ever. And this was the car that was in the game, and ever since, I'm pretty sure this car has not made very many appearances in video games. And it's quite funny how out of all the video games, GTA really loves to bring those cars back in their 2013 game, you know. And this car, as I already said, it has some pretty cool stuff to it. Good acceleration, good top speed, good handling. It also can wheelie good, and right now I'm showing you that this thing has great acceleration, decent top speed for a muscle car. And let me do say that, is this going to be faster than the Calico? Is this going to be faster than a Pariah? No. Is this even going to be faster in a top speed race against the Gauntlet Custom or the Gauntlet Hellfire? Either one of those cars would probably make this car look very weak in a straight line with top speed. But for what it is, this thing is pretty nice. And this is what I was saying, or at least this is what I like to say about GTA when it comes to their vehicles. I do like it when they make some cool variety, or they do spice the cars up. Like if it's a slow car with trash top speed, they just give it some good acceleration and it makes it feel faster than what it is. Trevor's truck is a very good example of that. It has poor top speed, but drive that thing, it has decent acceleration. You expect it to be almost as fast as a 1970s Camaro in this game, which I believe is called the Nightshade. It is 500,000 something, and that car is a little pricey, but you would expect Trevor's truck to be close to that speed. It's slower in top speed, but that acceleration of that car is cool. And this car and the Calico and some other tuner cars that are from this update have been blessed with the acceleration, and that's pretty good because it makes all the cars unique, makes them spicy, gives them life, and you can keep coming back to these cars and just drive them over and over again. And this right here, we are seeing that it's a lightweight muscle car, which sometimes that does suck, but this one is made to where it's pretty good where it's lightweight. It does some pretty cool wheelies. It's one of the best wheelie cars in the game. It has to be, and if it's not, it's a very good one. A very good one. And what would I give this car? A 1 out of 10? What would I give it? For what this is, for it being a newer car that they released in GTA, this is a 10, flat out 10. Now I would like to change some things, like obviously I would like to have an option to fill the gaps with this car's wheel arches. I would like that. I would like also to make the car's wheel more outwards, you know, I think that's called track, you know, the track width or something like that. But I would like the car wheels to be wider. But obviously I did the mud flaps as a cheap way to fix that little problem. And yes, it does look a little funny here and there, but it's the best cheap way to fix a problem for now in GTA. But this is the Dominator ASP. Pretty good car. Might be expensive, but for what it is good.